The Last of Us just finished its first season. I'm going to go over the last episode, and I'm also going to go over the season as a whole. I was worried at first because of how short the episode was going to be, being the shortest episode at just over 40 minutes, that they weren't going to be able to fit all of it into one episode. Not that the ending is long, but still, it managed to match the quality that I expected while adding a bit of backstory and still being faithful to the game. And since the ending to The Last of Us is one of the best video game endings, this episode was fucking amazing. It's filled with action and one of the most world-changing decisions that a character has made in both games and now TV shows, I guess. Starting off by showing Ellie's birth, which I didn't know that was going to be the cause of her being immune. Throughout the episode we can see that the end is coming. A lot of reminiscing and backstory. Of course, Joel isn't going to let it end this way. The realization that the cure would kill Ellie must have been a shock to viewers, as it was to the players, and whether you played the games or not, you can guess what was going to happen next when Joel starts mowing down entire floors of people. Joel does as he would in the game, lying to Ellie, almost like verbatim what he said in the game. It managed to get done what was supposed to in the short time span, and overall it's a great ending to a great story, even if it isn't over yet. So, as a whole, the show was great. It's an emotional roller coaster, though it did have its flaws at times, like its pacing felt a little bit off, which at times it kind of makes it seem like it's a synopsis of the game story, being as it's short and it seems like in every episode they're in a different town. And of course, there's no zombies. But story-wise, the zombies weren't that important. They should have still had more throughout though, and your argument can't be that, well, it's about people, because every zombie property is about people. It's been that way since the beginning, from Night of the Living Dead to more recent movies like Train to Busan, which uses zombies to put people in a situation where they confront their biases and their worst nature. See, if the show was longer, maybe they could have spent more time developing a more survival-focused show that could have capitalized on its suspense. Even with its flaws, it's still the best live-action adaptation of a video game, as The Witcher is more based on the books. But even if it wasn't, it would still be debatable because of the show's acting, the sets, and the look of the zombies. And these concept episodes, like the third episode, where they were able to tell a whole movie in one episode. One which could be argued as the best story in the show. As well as this, there's the opening that gives us more time with certain characters and a more in-depth explanation of where the fuck these zombies came from, to episodes like the second, which managed to be so faithful to the game that they were able to bring the video game's more intense creatures to life. We also have episodes like the seventh, which focuses almost entirely on Ellie's backstory. We see her when she gets first bit, as well as seeing her girlfriend and how that relationship develops and ends, which is taken from the DLC which came out after the game, but its placement here makes the most sense instead of putting it out afterwards. I guess they could have chucked it in Season 2, but I like that they put it here. In this episode we see both clickers and probably the most accurate portrayal of a video game's environment, but we've already gone over that episode, but it's definitely up there as one of the best. All of these episodes could be considered the best. I guess I could rank the top 5 best episodes real quick. The second, Infected, for the small glimpse into the world after the apocalypse as well as its game accuracy. The third, Long Long Time, for the story. The fifth, which did a lot in one episode, giving backstory to new characters as well as the bloater, and Ellie's attempt to save someone using her own blood. The seventh, for bringing life to part of a story which some may have missed in the game. It's also fun as well as tragic. And the last episode for bringing this all to a close without any real flaws. Just like the games, the show could have just ended here. So while you type out your thoughts in the comments about what you thought of the show, I've got to hurry up and finish the second game before the next season releases.